What's up, everyone? This is time to wrestle with Suplexis. I'm Suplexis, and today I have a big video planned. This is one I've been thinking about for a few months now, and this is a crossover between WWE and AEW. And in this fantasy booking, it will take place in October of 2024 this year. So, without further ado, maybe I should say, let's get started. Kicking off the show, we have Hangman Page taking on Randy Orton, and this begins at SummerSlam, where Randy Orton battles Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. He comes up short, Randy Orton, and after this, he begins to lose it. He loses his shit, and he is taking out all these young guys. Like, he gets in a feud with Carmelo Hayes for bashing Berlin and destroys him with a punt kick. He is not the legend killer anymore. He is the rookie killer in a way. So, after an incident occurs to begin this whole thing, Randy Orton sets his sight on his next victim, Hangman Page. He wants to exterminate the cowboy. Randy Orton, he believes that Hangman Page is everything that's wrong with the young wrestlers. They have a big mouth, they don't know when to shut up, they get themselves in trouble. Randy sees himself in Hangman. Maybe they exchange words, and Orton brings up how he used to get himself in trouble when he was young, and he hates who that person was. He hates his theme song, he hates everything about that person because he would always get in fights and say things he wasn't supposed to. And he looks at Hangman Page, and they might not allude to it, but the stuff with CM Punk that occurred, and he sees that and he wants to exterminate Hangman Page. He wants to get rid of him. And Hangman, he's got the spirit. He is one of the defenders of AEW. He is portrayed as that at least. And he wants to take out Randy Orton. He wants to protect his territory. He has a chip on his shoulder because Randy Orton thinks he's trying to be the next Orton, but Hangman wants to break free. Anyways, that's the story going into the match. Rookie killer, or well, Hangman's not a rookie, new wrestler killer, call it whatever you want, versus Hangman. In this match, they have a 20-minute burn burner, all of these amazing counters, but at the end of the match, Hangman hits the Deadeye on him. He goes for the buckshot. He does the flip into the ring, but runs right into an RKO, and it's one of the cleanest RKOs of all time. Randy Orton, 1, 2, 3. WWE wins the opener over AEW. And the next match this is a big one. We have Roman Reigns challenging or versing, because no titles on the line, Will Ospreay. So in this story, Will Ospreay loses at Forbidden Door to Swerve, and he gets his way back to the title, but again he loses at Wembley Stadium. So Will Ospreay, like, those are the only two losses he's had in AEW to the world champion Swerve, and you'll see later what happens to that title. But in this, Will Ospreay, after an incident, begins all this Will Ospreay challenges. He wants to fight basically the best wrestler in WWE. And after this, the next night, Friday Night SmackDown after the Dynamite, Roman comes out and he looks into the camera, sorry, and he says, Will Ospreay, I want you to acknowledge me as the best of WWE. I want you to acknowledge me as your opponent because I am the best. I am the tribal chief. I am the head of the table. Acknowledge me as your opponent at Forbidden War. But to Roman's surprise, Will Ospreay, he does not do that. He comes out and says, Bruv, you think you're the best wrestler. Bruv, you wrestle like 3 times this year. I want to fight a guy like Gunther. I want to fight a guy like AJ Styles. I want to fight guys who bust their ass every single week. You're not the best wrestler because you can't get anything done by yourself, bro. And Roman Reigns basically this pisses him off. So he keeps telling him, acknowledge me as your opponent, getting more violent every time, getting more pissed every time. Acknowledge me, acknowledge me, acknowledge me as the best. And eventually, Osprey, he's had enough of this, and he accepts Roman Reigns' challenge, and Osprey's looking to prove him wrong. So that happens like a couple months before the show, like after Wembley maybe. So in the coming weeks though, Roman Reigns he begins to tell Osprey that he had his eye on him. And basically Roman Reigns is like, man, here's the thing with you. You run around saying you're the best, but you're just like everyone I've beaten. Look at Drew McIntyre in Wales. Look at Sami Zayn in Montreal. Look at Edge at WrestleMania. Look at all these people. Look at Cody in Hollywood. Look at you in Wembley. All of you have one thing in common. When the going gets tough, when you're in your home place, when everyone in the arena or stadium is cheering you on, you choke. That's all you do. You're a choke artist. Will Ospreay, you're a choke artist. And the fact that you think you're the best in the world, the fact, let alone the world, you think you're the best in your own company? You're like the number 3. I got number 2s that can school your ass. And, Will, the only reason I'm fighting you is because you're so delusional. You honestly think you're the best after you lost 2 title shots in a row. Yo, even Cody didn't do that. Even Sammy didn't do that. Yo. He won the title shot at WrestleMania. Even he didn't do that. So this way I'm gonna fight you. I'm gonna humble you and I'm gonna basically show all these people, all these fans, they chant Osprey, Osprey, they sing along to your theme. Uh, I'm gonna show them what a clown you are. You're a clown. You're a toy. You're the big man's toy. The big man of your company. You're his toy. That's all you are. and sooner or later he's gonna get sick of you. And after our match, he'll be irrelevant as everyone else I've beaten. And Will Ospreay, basically, he talks after this about how Roman Reigns, he says all this stuff, he says he crushed all their dreams, but he couldn't do it by himself. He always had to rely on family. And then Osprey brings up how he left the Don Callis family because he realized they're giving him advice. They're trying to get him to damn near kill Bryan Danielson with the Tiger Driver. They're trying to get him to do all those things, but he broke free of it. And Osprey wants to do it himself. He doesn't care how many times he gets knocked down. And he mentions everyone he's beaten, but then he gets to Daniel Bryan, and Roman Reigns basically, he's like, yeah, stop right there. You beat Daniel Bryan. I'll tell you, I just thought of it. I know why you could never get the title. Because you don't got that killer instinct. Let me explain. You beat Daniel Bryan. You beat him. Amazing match. I watched it. But you feel guilty afterwards? You feel guilty for dropping this guy on his head? You feel guilty about that? You feel guilty? Are you serious? Are you serious? You're a disgrace. You're a disgrace to every one of us who busts our ass, go out there and try to win the titles. You're a disgrace. And Wembley, what did you do? You choked because you didn't use that. And that's the thing. That's the difference. You felt bad about beating Danny Bryan. What did I do? I beat him 3 pay-per-views in a row. I stacked his ass, and then I sent him back into AEW. That's the difference between you and I. That's why you'll never be world champ as long as you have that mercy, as long as you keep that. And Roman Reigns also in this feud, because he does it, he talks about how his family let Osprey down, how if he was it's like that Kevin Owens story where he's like, "Eh, your family's a disappointment, you didn't have to be like this. They failed to raise you, blah blah." He really gets under his skin with the tribal chief gimmick. So I guess at this point he can't be a face in WWE. That's the one thing. But this would be a very good story, so let's hold off on that. So they fight at Forbidden War. They are going at it. It's an amazing matchup, and basically Roman Reigns asks for Paul Heyman's help at the end, but he refuses to help him. And then Roman, he gets really pissed, right? He grabs a chair, starts wailing on Osprey, and then after all the months, after all the few months, after a 5-star clinic, maybe 6, Will Ospreay, he brings out the killer instinct because he can't put Roman away. He hits him with the Tiger Driver for the first time since he did it to Danielson, and he pins him 1, 2, 3. Will Ospreay, and maybe one of the biggest upsets, beats Roman Reigns, and this is gonna put him on the fucking map. I'm telling you. So that match is over, and now it's time for a big one. A 3-way match. Cody Rhodes defends the WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre and MJF. So this begins around SummerSlam time, or just after SummerSlam. Cody's defeated, or not SummerSlam. Drew extinguished the CM Punk at Money in the Bank. These two are going at it in a feud, but due to a certain incident, Drew MJF gets involved. He comes to WWE and he says, Cody, look, you've beaten You've beaten everyone. You've beaten Daniel Bryan. You've beaten Roman Reigns. But there's one person who has your number. There's one guy. You've never beaten me. You've never beaten the devil. You've never beaten MJF. And I'll tell you why. Look at my shoulder. I got the AEW championship. I got this from Swerve at All Out about how many 5 years after the first AEW Dynamite episode? Sure. So Cody Rhodes, this is what I'm gonna do. I may have signed a contract. It may not be the bidding war of 2024, but there's nothing I'd, and I mean nothing, that I'd love more than to crush you again and break you again. Take your title and just like good old Phil, leave, say goodbye, and go through the crowd. And Drew McIntyre comes out and he gets pissed at MJF. It's a three-way feud for the ages. There are brawls every week. Maybe they try to have some one-on-one matches, but it gets thrown out. And basically, the series announced, and the story is no one wants to referee this match. All the referees decline because it's too barbaric. They're going too crazy. Nobody wants to ref. So we get to the night of the show. All three people are out there, but then look in my eyes. What do you see? Cult of personality. CM Punk comes out. This would be amazing because Cody eliminated him at the Rumble. MJF had a feud for the ages, the second best rivalry in AEW history behind Hangman and Kenny. And they went at it. And then you have Drew McIntyre, who's very pissed. And this match is another amazing one. But in the end of the match, CM Punk is forced to count the 1, 2, 3 for MJF, who pins Drew McIntyre. Call me crazy. MJF is the new WWE champion. And CM Punk is forced to raise his arm in the air as he holds two titles above Drew McIntyre. Holy shit. Holy shit. Because what I'm doing here, this isn't any old inter championship change. This is Cody Rhodes beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, ended the 1,316-day title reign, and he loses it to a guy from AEW. This is crazy. And obviously, they'll probably run a live event to boost ticket sales. Like, they'll boost ticket sales or a live event and have Cody get the title back in some stipulated match. But oh my god, this would be perfect. This is the most perfect three-way of all time. And now it's time for the next match, which is Io Sky fighting Mercedes Monet. And this begins after an incident that began this all, and Damage Control. They're going after Mercedes Monet. And you could have this stem from Kyrie Sane as well, because Mercedes was the person who took Kyrie out of WWE. Her and Bailey did that. And Mercedes, she took Kyrie's women's championship. So you could start the feud with that and go to Io Sky versus Mercedes Monet. So in this match, in this match, they have a clinic in the ring. They have a 5-star match. Io Sky wins at the end, and Damage Control, they're beating the heck out of Mercedes Monet. But then Bailey's music plays. She takes out her former Damage Control buddies, and her and Mercedes Monet reunite in the ring after Mercedes loses. It's a really good moment. It's a really good match. You got a bit of a story going in. I just like it. And perhaps you have Monet recruit Naomi, but it's not enough and they need another person, and it doesn't happen until after the match. But this would be very good in my opinion. Excuse me. So now it's 2-2. It's time for the main event. What? So Undertaker comes out and he says, this is Forbidden War, right? This is AEW versus WWE. And look, I am WWE for life, as all of you know. But there's one place. This is the only time that WWE has ever, and I mean ever, talked with another company to both run a show. So I feel I have to be here. I have to come out here and say, damn, this is one of the best nights I've seen. We're not even done yet. We still have another match. But this is one of the best nights. Thank you all. Thank you to the world of professional wrestling. He's about to leave. Then Sting comes out. They don't have a match. They are way too old. Before you wonder about that, they do not have a match, but they have a face-off. They have an intense face-off until out of nowhere, the Young Bucks try to jump them. And you have a temporary brawl. And the Young Bucks come out because they have history with Sting, because Sting beat them in his retirement match along with Darby Allin. So they come out, and Undertaker and Sting, they both take out the Young Bucks, and they're both in the ring. It's a surreal moment. And is this fan service? Yes, but this is like the most excellent time to do it. So now, after this, it is time for the main event, where Jon Moxley battles Seth Rollins in a street fight. So this all comes together when Seth Rollins returns on a Raw or SmackDown episode, and he's out there. He's like, Roman Reigns, you still can't forgive me after all this. You still had to hit me with the chair. You lost the title. and now you're caught up with your bloodline stuff. So, what do I gotta say? I'm not sorry. And then out of nowhere, John Moxley comes out and he beats the heck out of Seth Rollins, and he's so pissed. He's like, "You think you could come out here? You joke about that?" He was like pissed off. And then Mox comes out and he's like, "You made a joke." Basically, the story is Mox attacks him. That starts this whole thing because Seth is angry on Roman Reigns about the betrayal, not forgiving him, and that. So Mox comes out and he's basically like, "You take this as a joke, Seth. Listen, listen, man. Joe might have never forgiven you for what you did. He tried to, but he couldn't. But I forgave you. I forgave you, man. I thought you changed. And you said I'm sorry to me. You didn't say it to Joe. I don't know why. But I I forgave you. But now you come back and you treat it as a joke. You treat it as a joke. I tried. I tried my damnedest. Man, I got with the Blackpool Combat Club. I did everything to try to erase that from my memory. But then I see you making a joke out of us. I see you making a joke out of what we were. I can't take it, man. So this is what's gonna happen. I wanna fight you. The people in the back for my company, people in the back for your company. Make it name the time, name the place, make a pay-per-view. But I gotta teach you a lesson, man. And basically, they're going at it. They keep fighting. Seth Rollins, he's back to his deranged type of person. What he was when he fought Edge. They're in brawls. And this match is set up for Forbidden War, the main event. And think of this match. Think of it like Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns from WrestleMania, where we got constant run-ins. BCC comes out, the Elite comes out, New Day comes out, the Usos come out, Orange Cassidy comes out, Gunther comes out. It's an all-out war. But at the end of the match, like there's blood everywhere. Uh, I don't think there's another spot for the card where you would have blood, so save it for this. And there's barbed wire everywhere. It's crazy. But at the end of the match, Mox is standing on one side, Seth is on the other. BCC come up, and they are on the apron with Mox. And Seth is slowly climbing back up. Like all the roster people have come out to help him. He's slowly climbing back up. He's really hurt. But then someone comes in the ring. Maybe there's a hoodie on to mask who it is. With two steel chairs. And he gives Seth Rollins one. Seth looks confused at this point, but he takes it and he walks with this person towards Moxley. And he hits, and this person takes off the hood, stops walking with Seth. It's Roman Reigns, and he hits him with the steel chair, and he batters him. Mox is just watching at this point. He's battering him like crazy in the back with the chair. And then he puts the chair underneath Seth Rollins' head and he looks at Mox and he says, "Do it. Hit him with the stomp." I've done. This is what he did in 2014. Beat us up with the chair, put that under us, and he stomped you. Do it. We gotta finish this, man. There's only one way. Curb stomp him. Roman gets more pissed. He looks at Mox and he says, "Did you not hear me? I'm gonna say it again. This is what he did to us. All those years ago, 2014, near over 10 years ago, he did this. Have your revenge. It's a street fight. We have all these people running out. It's your turn. You said you want to put Seth out. You said you want to get rid of him. Do it. Put him out." And Mox, he looks at Roman. Maybe he says it out loud, maybe he doesn't, but he looks at him like, "What have you become? What the hell have you become? What has this guy turned you into?" And instead, he throws the chair out the ring. Roman looks pissed at him. He picks Rollins up and he hits him with a paradigm shift. 1, 2, 3. Moxley wins. And Roman, after this, he can't believe it. He leaves. Mox looks like he has no idea how bitter this guy has become. And AEW win. And AEW survive the Forbidden War. Thank you for watching this video.